Hello, everybody. My name's Ardendris, and welcome back to All the Mods 10, almost at Hollow Knight. Anyways, last time we went ahead and were doing a bunch of breeding with trees, so our little ancient bee friends here have actually produced a bunch more of this, and they have some Wang leaf pollen for us now, which is kind of cool. Anyways, our friends over here helped us to breed together all the different trees we needed. So now we had the Sakatra Dragon Sapling, I believe is what it's called, which we used to go ahead and create the Dragon Soul at last. Yeah, Sakatra Dragon Sapling. So with that, we now have like one of the other major parts of the ATM star, leaving just 6 left. One of them is relatively easy. It just is setting up the auto crafter. And then, of course, after all of that, there's also setting up the thing for it anyways, the runic altar, which I think it's a bunch of stuff we've actually already made before. It's just putting it all together. Like ferrokinetic mixture we've made. Yeah, it's a lot of pieces we've seen. We just haven't used them yet all together to make a thing. But anyways, other than the trees, we got a couple new bees, including raw eclipse alloy bee, who should be in here somewheres, although it is nighttime. Oh yes, that's right. I had wanted to try fixing the simulator upgrade. Let's see. Yeah, Temper Tantrum cloned himself, so there's that. Yeah, the eclipse alloy bee. And we also made an unobtainium bee, which I made it because it's cool and it's there, but I don't actually know how useful it's going to be. Because we already have plenty of all the Aldemodium ores. But Eclipse Alloy Bee is kind of cool. Chaos Bees are going strong. I didn't bother getting rid of the duplicate. I could have made one anyways. I might just like throw away the ingredients that it would have taken in a bit. Anyways, with that, 2 large chaos fragments. I didn't actually register how many we had before starting, but I believe that this should now be everything we're going to need. Uses for that, I just need a draconium and awakened draconium. That and that. Uses. And there we go. We finally have another draconic core, so we'll be able to set up another draconic reactor. So that's something probably going to get done today, but other than that, we're going to be taking a look further at just dire things. Cool. Thank you. I really wish this had a modeling game, but sadly still no, even with a couple updates. Anyways, I've just been looking at a couple of things ahead of us with just dire things, and actually saved a couple of cool looking ingredient things. But as far as things we need for the ATM star, it is the Paradox machine and the Eclipse Ember fuel. And then there's a couple other, well, there's a bunch of cool looking machines and whatnot, but I saved 3 that were the coolest sounding. But, what's going to be what's like the most important thing to look at? I suppose none of it's like high priority, but we still have time, obviously. Let's go for the Paradox machine. I think I need those time shards for a couple other cool things as well. So the Paradox machine, let's actually just look up its recipe here. Come on. Paradox. For this, we need 4 Eclipse Alloy ingots. Done. We need time crystal block, 3 time crystals in a time fluid bucket. So obviously we have some work cut. We have our work cut out for us. So let's just cut away to how to get time. And can I do it from here? No, I can't just go like that. I actually have to look in resources for time crystals and time fluid. Not goo. Come on. Resources, time crystals. Time crystals are no trivial task to create, but they are very worthwhile as they have the power to affect time itself. Creating them is a multi-step process that will be outlined in the following pages. First, use Shadow Pulse Goo to convert a budding amethyst into a budding time crystal block. The budding time crystal block must absorb time energy from each of Minecraft's 3 dimensions, overworld, nether, and the end. Place it in the overworld For some time, it will begin absorbing overworld time energy, which you'll be able to see as blue particles. Once the block changes color, it's ready for the next step. Okay. Oh, hold on, you'll need to move the block into the nether at this point. However, you cannot break the block without shattering it, even with Silk Touch. You'll need to find some other way to move it across dimensions. Okay, I'm glad I read ahead here. A simple swapper is designated to swap blocks and or entities in the world between it and a paired partner. Start by placing two swappers in the world, then use a ferrocourse wrench. Right-click the first swapper, then the second, a message will tell you that they are bound. The UI will also have a green button showing where it's bound. The blocks button lets it toggle between swapping blocks or not. Um, when swapping blocks, block entities like chests will swap just fine. You can still use this to switch out different chests from machines or swap two things. Okay, so let's save that as well. Looks relatively simple. Observers, I think, are relatively cheap. We have everything else. I just need to get a bit more blaze gold, which I think I actually still have some. Or I'm gonna need a bit more than that, I believe, but simple enough. Just set one of these up here, and we'll make two of those swappers. We'll use them to switch, like, our block here with, yeah. Anyways, this thing needs a budding amethyst block. That's the easy part. I believe I have one somewhere still. Or I had one. I think I used it, but I believe that if I head on over here, if it will load, let's see. Yeah, there's this one here that I just haven't. Let me drop down. Thank you. It wouldn't let me drop. That's just a block of amethyst. That's a budding amethyst. Silk Touch, Yuki's Mineral Assimilator. Oh yeah, that doesn't work. I forgot that doesn't work. Okay. Budding amethyst. There's a recipe for these though. Yeah, a block of amethyst with infusion with certain parameters that I think we currently meet. Oh yeah, I think that's what happened. I made a budding amethyst because it's used for a different recipe, I think, and that's why I actually set this up so it could do so. And it's in here. Is it? No, I took away all the quanta from this thing. One second, I need to set this back up, apparently. I found what I used the I found what I used those budding amethysts I made for. It was making the thing that makes it so we can no longer make budding, yeah. So, I apparently made budding amethysts so that I could use them to create geode encased bookshelf of stability, which puts you out of a point where you can no longer make them because you don't have enough Eterna, so that's, or Quanta rather, which is pretty funny. Anyways, budding amethyst, there we go. These two can just go back for now. Maybe I should make multiple of these, but we'll deal with that later. Anyways, that should get turned in. Ah, this one needs to get fed again. But this should get turned into budding time. Yeah, into budding time crystal. And then eventually it should start getting some like blue particles, and then we'll need to use the swapper to move it to the nether and do the same thing there. At least that's how I assume it works. I should probably read the rest of the way just to make sure. Oh yeah, yeah, there you can see it. Those blue particles are the like overworld time energy. So from here, how do we make those swappers? Observer, blaze gold. Okay. Oh, there we go. I guess the budding time crystal has changed. Interesting. Oh, you can eat multiple things, and it will just like flash between them. That makes sense. So it's ready to eat. I need a little bit more blaze gold than that. So just go ahead and do your thing, and while I'm waiting, I guess I'll get everything else together. So, one second. Well, that was easy enough. I literally already had everything on me. I just needed to make observers, which was as simple as making observers. Oh, wait. Oh, I forgot to grab the extra blaze gold. So, as soon as this stuff gets smelted up, we'll be all good. Helps if I actually grab it so I can smelt it up. Anyways, before that stuff gets done, And we have the swapper things. Easy as pie. Anyways, these things, I guess I'll place one down here. Actually have it touching it. So you, target blocks, ignore blocks, no entities pulse, speed ticks not bound. Oh, let's read up a bit more of this. There is an advanced version, but I don't know if it's actually worth it for what we're doing here. Start by placing 2 swappers in the world. Then use a ferrocore wrench, right-click the first, then the second. A message will tell you that they are bound. Okay, so we need a ferrocore wrench now. Ferrocore wrench, which is made with ferrocore, which is smelted from raw ferrocore. Raw ferrocore is mined using anything and iron. Got it. So simple enough. Shadow Pulse Goo. It looks like it's actually already ready. I just need a couple of blocks of ferrocore, so hopefully that will be fine. And now, do I have to place them in the same dimension, or how does this work, actually, is kind of my question. Come on, give me 4. It gave me 3, because of course it did. Come on. I mean, I kind of like this. This is cool, using weird goo to transmute objects into uh, similar objects, but changed in various ways. Anyways, there's that. These get smelted up. We'll build the wrench, and then I guess that will let us test things out a bit more. This is a lot. While we're waiting for this, all of this is to get to the time crystals themselves. From there, we also need to get time fluid, which is made by dropping a time crystal into a pool of polymorphic fluid, which is made by using a polymorphic catalyst in water. The key ingredient used to transform water. And how do you get it? Polymorphic. What am I missing? Polymorphic catalyst. It does not tell you the recipe for it. Cool. Polymorphic. It's made from a blaze gold and a netherwort. Cool. Easy enough. So grab this stuff, turn it into a wrench. Ferrocore wrench. Grab a netherite, which netherwort rather. Get 4 polymorphic catalysts, and I guess right here is a good enough place, I guess. Just grab arch thing. And like so, we have polymorphic fluid, which I guess we'll just hold on to in a bucket for now. But we can make more of that, and we'll put it to good use later on. Cool. Now, how does this thing work? These should... Yes, these two bound to 1772, 443. 1772, 443. Okay, so they're bound together. This one is now bound to nothing, missing. Bound to... Okay, it's bound to its own block. Hold on, binding removed. Bound. Okay, so it should be bound to itself. If I then attempt this, go to the nether exit, for instance, and I just place the second one, like, right here. Will they be bound together? Bound to nether. Binding removed. Bound to nether. Go away. So, how does this work? Binding removed. I think that's probably the way it's supposed to work. It's bound to the nether. If I go to the farm... bound to the nether. Okay, so they're bound together. Cool. Nope. And now they're unbound because I tried to Okay, no, they're bound still. Binding removed, bound to nether. That's just ignore that because that's entirely wrong. Cool. Now I'm going to assume it needs a redstone symbol, a redstone signal, but it does not actually say this anywheres. Right click there, they're bound, well, green button showing where it's bound. When enabled. Okay, yeah, so it should be targeting blocks. It is bound. False, ignored. Um, false. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and give it a thing. I guess that proves how it works at least. So, like so, add a lever on. And there we go. We can now follow that through to the nether real quick. And another exit. Hello there, little crystalline bee. Where'd you come from? This should now go ahead and like change itself up pretty soon. Though I do have to just like sort of wait here for a bit. And then once it's... Actually, now that this is in the nether, I need to go get to the other swapper, bring it to the end so that I can attach them again. And then it will do that, and then bring this one over to the overworld. So eventually this should change colors. Eventually. I didn't actually have any sort of like timing on the first one. I didn't notice how long it was. Is this shorter or longer than that, though? I don't know. I'm probably just being impatient with it. Benetoite. I actually need to gather some of that stuff because I'm going to need it for Insanite, which is part of the ATM star. Okay, it's still going. I'm just going to be back with you when it's done. It might be a few minutes. I don't know how long it takes. There we go. It was like another 30 seconds, and now it's a really cool coloring, actually. But from here, that's all set up. Time to head back to the farm. Actually, hold on. I need to head back, or it doesn't really matter much. So I just need to grab this thing right here and the switch attached to it. Whoops, didn't mean to do that, but oh well, I'll fix it in a moment. And Raycred's thread, or whatever. Now, I should be as simple as just doing this, right? Make sure it's facing something. Here we go. Added the lever on. Bound. There we go. It's actually pretty simple once you know how to set it up. It stays connected to the last thing it was connected to. It's just that easy. So another minute or two, and this should be a time crystal now. So I'll see you then. And a couple minutes later, there it is. Now, I just need to get this thing home, which is as simple as doing what we've just done a couple more times. Just going to grab the one from the nether and bringing this off somewheres in near our base. Is there any way I can set it up with the... Come on, there we go. Is there any way for me to set it up attached to some of these things? Yes, I can put it right here, which should be pretty much fine. The swapper can go there, facing the correct way, actually. And immediately bind it, I believe. Bound. And this one is not bound, for some reason. Because it's... There we go, it's facing the right way. Fine then. Maybe it's because the other one isn't loaded in. But, bound... head over to Repressurized, and then from over here, attach this to this one. Now it is bound to the overworld one, and it's as simple as doing this. And they should now be swapped out. I should probably bring this thing with me, just to be on the safe side. And now, if we head over to farm, if I can click the thing... Yes, there it is. And it's blue again. It apparently... also, I set up... this is in the wrong place anyways. Let's look back at time crystals to figure out why that's wrong. It will begin to absorb the colors, some way to move it over to the nether, it's ready to move again. Move the end to the block. It will absorb green and time energy, visualizing as green particles. The block will turn green, and time crystal buds will begin to appear. It consumes some of the time energy. Ensure you don't break the time crystal buds until they're fully grown, it will destroy them, receiving nothing in return. To do... Um... Hmm. That's silly. Cool. Cool. I have to repeat the whole thing over again because it didn't have any time energy stored up. How can you tell how much that time energy stored up? I don't know. As soon as it left, it immediately lost all of the time energy. Wow. Thanks, game. That's cool. Now I have to go to repeat that whole process again. It's currently blue though, which is what happened. I don't like this. That's silly. That's so silly. Fine, fine. Bound that, go back to the nether. Every time it just creates one, I can save it, though, via the... I'm going to all the wrong places because I'm annoyed. Nether exits. Let me repeat this process a couple of times. We have one small cluster. I just need to somehow get it to actually work and grow some more. So, I'll see in a little bit. Okay, so a bit more messing around with it. I messed this up slightly, but I only messed up some mineral seeds and some dye seeds, neither of which really need all that. But now it looks like it's going and it's not immediately just running out of all of its time energy. Large, not quite finished up. Small is going strong. But, yep, this is working much better now. And with that, should start getting time crystals pretty soon. Come on, can one of you at least go into, like, the fully fledged thing? Yep, there we go. Time crystal, time crystal, time crystal. And there is 3. It's 1 per. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be 1 per? Time bees, how do you get those? Really wish I could just look at the bee that's right there in front of me. Time bee is gotten through 2 time crystal blocks, time fluid block, and like a whole bunch of other ones. Why am I getting slowed down? What? Dang it. So, I'm good. Was that something to do with how it was like about to shut down and run out of time energy? Maybe that caused the weirdness. Anyways, we got it to at least work that time. There's 4, which can get us the time fluid we need. How much does the paradox machine need? What is happening? Why? It's... Hmm? Get out of my face, you stupid little fly. What is happening? Where is that massive slowness coming from? It was a ton... Yep. We have 4. We need 4. We need another 9. We need 3 basic crystals, a full block, and then the time fluid. Which means I need to just keep running this thing to... Oh, is it running into time crystals? Is that what happens? Maybe. Anyways, I need to do that so many more times. For now, I'll keep working on that. Let's work on something else for now, because it's kind of an annoying run. Don't need that saved anymore. Oh yes, also to note, I think that I technically did this before the last episode, but I forgot. I went ahead and made another star crux. We made one of these for the Wither's Compass like ages and ages ago. But relatively cheap thing to make at this point, considering how many nether stars we had and how much of all this stuff we have. And I made another right seed, which is now sitting right. That's fluorite. That's also fluorite. Where did I put it? I don't remember exactly where it is, but somewhere's around here in all the seeds there it is, nether star seeds. These have just been going for a little bit. I've gotten a couple hundred nether stars out of them. And I can just go ahead and here, use these to get to these nether star shards. There it is. And saving world, because of course I want to slow things down immediately as I try to do something. So go ahead and make these nether star shards, and then go ahead and do like so. It's only 3 per to get actual nether stars. It's slower than that thing, but it is more reliable because this works permanently. Meanwhile, if I forget to go ahead and make the things, that thing doesn't run to produce more. So it's just like another source of them to speed things along a little bit. It must be something to do with having time crystals on us. That must be what the weird slowing down is coming from. Anyway, so those I guess can just sit in the backpack for now. Anyways, the paradox machine is apparently going to have to wait for now. I guess we'll get working on the ember fluid. I looked a little bit while I was waiting, but this one is a two-parter for she'll need a dark tank. Easy, it actually gives us a free one there. I'm not going to take the experience just yet, though. Now, to get it, you'll need to drop an Eclipse Ember into Liquid Void Flame to make Unrefined, and then put it next to Shadow Pulse Glue to get the regular stuff. Cool. So we're going to need Liquid Void Flame and Ember Eclipse, or Eclipse Ember, rather. So if we look at this, Eclipse Ember, right here, is an ore that is produced by using a Void Flame Coal block on the Shadow Pulse. Void Flame Coal block is a bunch of Void Flame Coal, which, you guessed it, is an ore made from using Blaze Ember on a Shadow Pulse. Blaze Ember is an ore, which, you guessed it, is made by taking a Primal Coal and putting it on. And Primal Coal is, once again, block of coal on it. You mine it, you turn it into a block, put it on it, mine it, put it into a block, turn it on. Okay, okay. So, simple enough. That's... Well, that works. It's not the block I meant to put it on. I meant to put it on the Shadow Pulse. Oh, that's a nest. It's, how... Out of every netherite block I could have picked up around where we were, I picked up a nest. That's kind of funny, actually. What are the odds? Anyways, this will become a coal ember block or whatever it was called. Or it will become the ore thing and I'll break it. Although I'm probably going to need a couple more, so let's just do this. Doop, doop, and doop. This one also works quite a bit faster, it seems like. Definitely. Yeah, we can more or less duplicate Shadow Pulse goo. We have everything we need to like make a million of them, so we should probably just use this for everything. And actually, I think we do have another one, don't we? Yes we do. Cool. So this thing's just gonna go here. I'll feed it in a moment if need be. Anyways, this stuff, Primal Coal, gets turned into a block of Primal Coal, which we put here. And I'm probably going to need another one of them. So, Primal Coal. Let's see, 7. Hold on. A block. Each one gives 3 or 4. It is random between 3 or 4. So, it looks like I need 3 Primal Coals to get a block of Blaze Ember. So, I should need 3 of these ones. Get Void Flame, and then 3 Void Flames to get... Okay, so basically I just need like a whole bunch of each one, and then just keep going through it all like that. Okay, so I guess since it's just doing the same thing over and over again to just rack up Primal Coal and then turn that into the next tier, I'm going to keep working on this for a little bit. So I'll see you... Dang it. Where did it go? It's still on me. And where is my shulk catalysts? There it is. Might as well just feed them both. Now, I'll see you in a little bit. I'm just going to make like a whole bunch of this stuff real quick. Okay, I think I'm just about at the final one. So I have some extra primal coal here. I made a couple more than I needed to. But I believe that this final block of Blaze Ember should get turned into Void Flame, which I don't think I technically showed before, but same principle. It's there. Anyways, this should finish up here in just a moment. And once this breaks, it should give us the last of this. Void flame coal gets turned into a ore of blaze, or not blaze ember, whatever it's called. Ember, eclipse, eclipse ember, eclipse, something. Words are hard. I was literally just looking at this. I've been searching for these things for a few minutes now. And while I was looking at things, I sort of was like looking at the stored energy unit thing. And as far as like singular items, not counting things that are like super boosted, like times 5 or times whatever, have like G's worth of things. This Eclipse Ember right here, actually, as far as I can tell, for like a singular item, has one of the highest energy stored in it. Like it's in a very, very efficient fuel source. And then you get like 25 million just from a block of the stuff, which is pretty good. Like this takes some skulk. Yeah, it takes a couple pieces of skulk every once in a while, but other than that, it's just like turning a bunch of coal into like very good stuff. So pretty useful actually. Anyways, this stuff, we need one of it to get the liquid, or one of it gets the unrefined. But now it's on to the second step of this, the fuel. So void flame fuel we get by spreading goo to unrefined void flame goo fuel. So we need a void flame coal. We actually have one of those extra exactly, so that works out. So that and dropped into blaze ember fuel, which you take unrefined blaze ember, which you get from dropping a single piece of blaze ember, which I do not actually have any more of. We're going to need one more of these. So blaze ember gets dropped in polymorphic juice. So let's just leave that there for a moment. This should get us enough primal coal, and then we'll turn it into the void stuff. It gets put in there. Cool. So this gets turned into this. Then the what comes out of this will get dropped in there. This will get put next to that and refined. And we're going to complete this. Just cycle through this a couple of times. I do want to grab some random blocks here real quick. So that's not where I meant to place that. Let's just do like that so that we can put the fluids here without them getting loose. So blaze ember here. One of these gets tossed in. This becomes unrefined blaze ember fuel, which gets dropped in here. And as things tend to do with this mod, it gets encroached upon by whatever else it's touching. And it becomes blaze ember fuel. And now this blaze ember, I can't see it there. But blaze ember is the one that, let's see, void flame. Unrefined void flame, blaze ember, drop in this thing, and it will get it. Okay. So this will become that. And once it once again gets, like, consumed, it will become the next tier. There we go. Void flame fuel. And repeat the process one more time. And then put it in the dark tank, and hold on. That's 16,000 micro buckets, which is to say that is 16 buckets. I'm calm. I am fine. I am calm. I thought you could just pick up fluids with the dark tank. Am I thinking of other tanks? Am I thinking of any tank? What was it? Why was I thinking I could just do that? Dang it. So that was just a waste of a bunch of time. We know how to do it. But the thing is, like, even if that had worked, I would have had to do that 15 more times. Okay, we still have 2, which is to say 2 more buckets. So I'm going to need to make 14 more Eclipse Ember. So basically take like several stacks of coal, keep doing this. Okay, I know how to do it now. And I think it's better than like making these things, like these 1K things, item storage box. Like, there's not as many steps as doing something like that, but it is just gonna take a while. Oh, that does work. I can just use basic sculk. It doesn't have to be catalyst. Very nice. So I can just make infinite of these then. Okay, cool. So that's very nice. It's just gonna take a while to do it. Make as much primal coal as I can, make it into blocks, turn it into blaze stuff, just keep upgrading tier-wise over and over and over again. So should be able to do this. This is a cool looking mod. Like I like the designs for all this stuff, and it's like a very interesting idea. It just takes a while for some of this stuff to happen. You're just sort of here waiting for reactions to happen. Which I suppose is fine, because it's like supposed to be like some science-y, like, oh, you're adding catalysts together and waiting for reactions to get like the expected and wanted results. So it's cool. It is a little bit slow and it's quite a bit repetitive, but oh well, I suppose. I suppose it's fine to some degree. Anyways, I want to get at least one of them to them today. The time crystals is probably going to take longer than this, so I'm just going to keep at it. Hmm? Are we good? Yeah, I'm definitely having some computer problems. My GPU had started throttling all of a sudden, and as soon as I hit resume recording, everything froze up. Anyways, I think I have this all set up. I think I have enough of everything left, and I do have our first piece of Eclipse Ember Fuel, which is going to go in there. Another Void Flame here is ready to get turned into it. More polymorphic fluid ready to go here, which gets turned into Blaze Ember. That keeps going, and so on and so forth. I'm basically just following this little pattern here. Eclipse Ember thing, that goes here. Add in the Blaze Ember, and occasionally just go in and do that. And Void Flame there, that's going to get Void Flame in a moment. And another Polymorph gets ready over here. That's basically how I'm set up to do this. I should have exactly 16 of basically everything but the polymorphic catalysts. Those I have 17 or something of them because we ended up wasting one. Oh wait, no. I have 19 of these to start because of the one that I accidentally ended up deleting instead of putting it into the barrel. So that bothers me a little bit, but I'm sure we have another purpose for them. But as soon as I'm done just going through all of this in a little bit, that will technically be another item off the list for the ATM star, which is pretty cool whenever we can say that. Especially since we've managed to say that 2 episodes in a row, which doesn't happen very often. This is already Void Flame, that gets Eclipse Ember. I got a bit messed up for a moment. Anyways, I'm just going to keep doing this. It's just going to take me a little while to get this run through the rest of the way. Okay, I believe with that, we now have 16 buckets of Eclipse Ember fuel. And if we pick this up, we can look at uses. 16 out of 16, auto supply disabled, 16 out of 16. Everything looks in order. I believe that that's probably going to do it for today. That is another piece of the ATM star ready to go. That joins that group. That's that, and that, as well as that. Relatively simple to make this thing. A conduit's easy. Echo shard is easy. 8 echo shards of conduit, magmatic generators. I'm going to need a little bit more gold, but I have it. I just need to smelt it. Obsidian generator. Yeah, we have everything we need for that. I just haven't yet. So there's basically 5. Blaze burner is super easy. I'm not sure how to make uranium, but a blaze thing is just 4 iron plates and a nether rack, and just go grab a blaze. It's literally that easy. Insanites, where we need a bigger reactor that's actually ready to set it, or to use it, I believe, from extreme reactors. Rainbow coal and ender generator. Ender generator is easier to make than the magmatic one. Rainbow coal, I believe you blow up a rainbow furnace for, if I remember correctly. Blowing up a rainbow furnace. Rainbow furnaces, apparently you need 2 of these things. Oh, you need 2 of them for the improbable probability device. I didn't even realize that. But these things are rainbow plating, which is I mean, we can probably do this. It's just a lot of stuff to make. And rainbow coal is 2 netherite furnaces and 1 of every color glass. So yeah, we can make that right now if we wanted to. It's just putting a lot of stuff together. So basically for this piece of the ATM star, it is just going to be the insanite block, which you get from a bunch of insanite. So take benitoite and rosinite in the reprocessor. I believe these are all like, I believe you get rosinite with a fluid thing by using one of the other inputs other than uranium. I don't know. I'm going to have to double check how to do extreme reactors. I don't know how feasible it is for us to get that going right now. But we are making progress. As soon as I can get this thing going for a little bit longer to produce a bunch more time crystals, which is just going to kind of be annoying. But anyways, yeah, we're making decent progress. I want to thank you very much. There we go. I want to thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed as much as I have, and I hope to see you next time. So without further ado, take care, everybody. Okay, little side note, I did go ahead and make this. As, hmm. How do I do this again? How do I remove this from the card? Yeah, that's how. All that work with the swapper. I completely forgot about cardboard boxes. That would have been so much easier. At least I know now. Okay, that makes this so much nicer. Basically, I let it produce as much as possible. I grab what I can. Whatever doesn't become a full-blown time crystal, I pick up with Silk Touch. And then I just take a cardboard box to bring this thing around all the different locations. And actually, what I should do is put something in 2 of the 3 slots, so we'll only focus on growing 1. That's probably the most efficient way to do it, too. But, yeah. That didn't even cross my mind until I just finished the second round and getting the thumbnail with the crystal. But yeah, I guess that's good for future note. It won't be nearly as bad getting the paradox machine as I was thinking. Anyways, for real, it's, you know what? Now that I know it's only going to be like another 10 minutes to get the paradox thing rather than another like 40, I think I am going to just keep going until we get it. Like, actually, it is decided that it has bunches and bunches of energy. I hate the right click. I, hmm. I don't mind the right click being like a bone meal effect, but I wish it was specifically bone meal for everything that wasn't grass, because there are reasons you would want to right click dirt. Anyways, what was the math on it again? We need 16 of this stuff, I think. Well, I'm going to need a bunch more for time fluid, but at least specifically for the paradox machine. Paradox machine, we need, nope, I forgot I was in cheat mode. 3, 4, 13 time crystals for the paradox machine. And currently we are sitting at 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. Now I need to take a polymorphic thing, do that, and one of these to get, and do that, so that doesn't happen again. Time fluid. It's a weird green fluid, of course. Do that. So time fluid, and turn 9 of these into a crystal, and grab out our eclipse alloy. And with that, we have the paradox machine. That was actually, we got super lucky with this one. The last one, it like kept getting rid of all of its time energy more or less instantly. This time, it has decided it's just going to give us a whole bunch all at once without turning itself off, which is very nice. Anyways, I would love to figure out how this thing works just as a baseline. Like, apparently you can duplicate stuff. but there's some stuff it can't duplicate, so I'll have to look into maybe there's a config that says what it works on and what it doesn't. I'll go looking for that. But anyways, now next there you go. Next time, I guess we'll pull out this book, because there were a couple other recipes I wanted to see, like the polymorphic wand, portal gun, and time wand. We'll check those out next time, but for right now, I want to thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed as much as I have, and I hope to see you next time. So without further ado, take care, everybody. I want to thank everyone one more time for watching, and a special thank you to the channel members. Yamato Tanagura, Goddess of the Star-Filled Void, and the Phantom Knight. Thank you three so much for the extra support. So for real now, take care, everybody.